Mr. President, members of the Senate, you might be aware of this. We had a census this last year, and 68 Iowa counties lost population, which is depressing. It's unfortunate. And one of the reasons I want to suggest that we're losing population is we're disinvesting. I should say Republicans are disinvesting in our state, in rural Iowa. We spent a good hour yesterday talking about education. I know you want to convince us that you're showering money on our rural schools and our schools in Iowa. We beg to differ on that, but that's one of the priority choices that you've made is to underfund our schools. There was a story that was in the news last week about our state parks. We have record attendance at our state parks. 1.7 million Iowans went to our state parks this year, and for some reason, and trying to track it down with the Department of Natural Resources and the governor's office, the DNR has decided to close 23 of the houses at our state parks at a time when Iowans are visiting parks in record numbers. And the department suggests, and they sent around a memo, you might have seen it. I don't know when this decision was made. It sounds like a done deal. It's a bad idea, but I think they suggest in their memo there is no quantifiable customer service benefit from housing and having rangers in our state parks. I just find that illogical as somebody that uses our state parks. I think that the experience and the quality of the experience of people that go to our state parks, knowing that there's somebody at the park they can call on and get information from, that they can get information to keep them safe from things like weather disasters, things like emergencies that might happen. Somebody gets injured at the park. The idea that you can go talk to the park ranger and get assistance versus taking away all these people in the parks. As you know, they do law enforcement in the parks. And a few years ago, we had this huge issue where people were making meth in our state parks, in our parks. I think that if you ask people who likes this, the meth makers like this move. They just soon have these parks have no law enforcement in them, and they can basically have the run of the land. These park rangers are our eyes and ears in the parks. They make for a better quality experience. There is a memo out that describes the cost of repairing some of these houses. Brushy Creek, by the way, the house there is in fair condition. They had 470,000 visitors to Brushy Creek. The cost of the repair there is $26,000 to fix the house at Brushy Creek. Dolliver State Park, 255,000 visitors. Cost of fixing that house is $34,000. Maquoketa State Park, they're busy, 224,000 visitors. Their house needs a little more work. It's 60,000. Lake Manawa, 3 million visitors. Their house needs $35,000 in repair. Pikes Peak, which is my favorite park, 304,000 visitors. Their house needs $37,000 in repairs. And Big Creek had 640,000 visitors, and their house needs $19,000 in repairs. It's somewhere around $900,000 to fix all of these homes so that we can have the eyes and ears and law enforcement and assistance to campers and people that visit our parks. This really isn't about money. The governor gave Des Moines $15 million for a kayak course. $15 million for a kayak course. But Senator Kreinbrink, we don't have $26,000 for you for Brushy Creek. And I know you know about this issue. Dolliver, I don't know if Dolliver is yours too, 34,000. So we have $15 million for a water kayak course, Mr. President. And more than $10 million, I mentioned this last week, more than $10 million for the Field of Dreams, right? I mean, Dyersville, I don't know, they're not really going to maybe they're going to build a subdivision at Field of Dreams, but they're running a water and sewer pipe from Dyersville to the ballpark for Major League Baseball. But we don't have $37,000 for Pikes Peak, $10 million for a sewer pipe to hook up Major League Baseball. These parks are in rural places. They are in rural parts of our state. They provide some economic opportunity for businesses adjoining and adjacent to these areas, these beautiful parks. And here we are, for $800,000, $900,000, you guys can't scratch it together to not only maintain a quality experience in these busy parks, but these houses are going to be abandoned, and I don't know, I've asked the DNR, what's the cost to tear the houses down? We're just not going to, maybe in the Iowa way, we'll just let them deteriorate and fall down. That's our brand. But we've got $15 million for a water kayak course, and Major League Baseball got $10 million to run a sewer to the ballpark. But you guys can't come up with less than $1 million to keep our parks safe and to have a quality, safe experience for park users. It's more rural decline with this decision. It's more rural decline with this decision. You guys own rural Iowa. You need to do a better job taking care of it. Senator Rosenboom, you told me you're going to look into it. I'm waiting for your report on it, because I know you're skeptical too. Here's the other issue you all have. You are afraid of who's downstairs. There's not one decision she's made, and this is Governor Reynolds' decision on this park stuff. You have not taken her one time on about anything. This is blue state money she's spending on the kayaks, and blue state money she's handing over to Major League Baseball to get Field of Dreams up to snuff on water and sewer. But she wants to close down this public safety in 23 state parks, and it's crickets from you guys. So bad for rural Iowa, Mr. President. I hope there's still time to fix it. I've got an email all weekend about it. I assume you have too. Snap out of it over there. Thank you, Mr. President.